Hi guys, time for today's video. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I was quite busy. Just didn't get time to do one. But today I'm going to do the video I was going to do yesterday. It's a continuation from 2 videos ago where I talked about next gen or now this gen. You may notice I look a bit different. I've had a shave and had my hair cut, but that's neither here nor there. So on my 2 videos ago, I was talking about next gen consoles, which is now this generation. And I questioned, is it really next gen? I very much do not believe that the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 and the Wii U are what we would class as next gen. They're not next generation. They're not as advanced as we all believe. Now you can look at the stats, you can look at numbers, look at whatever you want. But the only difference is that the games look a bit nicer. For people with bad eyesight, they can't even tell. So you have to ask yourself, is this next gen really as good as everyone seems to believe? Because I believe that this generation here now, they're going to sacrifice the gameplay, they're going to sacrifice whatever. They're going to sacrifice the gameplay, they're going to sacrifice the story, they're going to sacrifice kind of free roams aspects, so they're going to make the games a lot more linear, I feel. And they're going to sacrifice all of that just so the game looks a bit nicer. And I don't care about graphics. I will happily go play a game that was made 10 years ago and still enjoy it more than a game that's made this year. I don't care about how a game looks, unless of course the game just if the game just looks bad, that's not good. But if the game just looks bad because it's old, that's fine. What do you expect from a game that's like 10 years old? You know, that's why they do remakes, the HD edition, whatever. So yeah, there's many problems that seem to be cropping up more often in this next gen era. For example, day one DLC. That seems to be a really big thing that developers are trying to push for some odd reason. I can't think of why. Examples of this: Dead Rising 3. It had day one DLC somewhat, and there's DLC already planned for it, and it's been out not even a month. I don't think. It's ridiculous. Secondly, microtransactions. They've come storming into next generation stronger than ever, forcing people to spend more real money just to have an advantage in the game. Examples of this are Forza 4, or Forza 5. I think it's Forza 5 on the Xbox One. You can pay real money to unlock the best cars and beat everybody. Why would you want to do that? You're just going to buy the best car in the game. What's the point in playing the game you're not unlocking the cars, just buying cars, You're not playing the game. What else? This is the next gen, but GTA 5, pay real money to get some in-game money. So if you've got deep pockets and you just want to, I don't know, buy an airplane, a helicopter, tank even, whatever, you can just buy the money in the game with your own money. Now the good thing about GTA 5 is that you can't use that stuff unless you rank up. So even if you are Scrooge McDuck and you buy a tank, you can't use it until you're like level 56 or something like that. So that's good. But it doesn't change the fact that when that level 56, when the guy hits level 56, even if he's got no money in the game because he's been cheap and just XP boosted, or I don't know how you would do that, but whatever, he can just go buy the tank. Whereas everyone else has been saving up their money in the game to buy a tank. I'm rank 94 and I don't have a tank in the game or a helicopter. But I do have 3.5 million, so I could buy one. But I don't know, I'm stingy like that, I won't buy it. Anyway, so yeah, we've had day one DLCs cropping up more often, microtransactions have been cropping up more often, blatant unfinished games. Now that's always been the case, but it seems to be even worse now. It's like developers are being forced to release their game at a set date, no matter what state it is in. GTA 5, for example. GTA 5 came out, the multiplayer was fine. You couldn't play online for the first 2 weeks, or yeah, it was the first 2 weeks. After that 2 weeks, the online still didn't work, and it took another week to get it fixed, basically. That's not acceptable. Not in this day and age, and it wasn't acceptable years ago. Well, it wouldn't have even happened years ago because there wasn't online that long, you know, all those years ago. But it's not acceptable. If your game's not finished, you either admit it, you say, look, our game's not finished, we're going to have to delay it a few months, sorry. That's fine. We'll all be disappointed, but I'd rather that than us have a steaming pile of shit that we end up having to play just because it's not finished, and it puts you off the game. If you get a game and it's shit, it's broken, it's unfinished, that's already put you off the game. You've spent your money and they can fix it, but it's put you off the game now because you've already played it in its shit state and you don't want to play it anymore. What's the point in that? And then there's some developers just, they take the piss and they delay their game and they delay their game and they delay their game. I know some games have been delayed for years and years and years, and consoles, and they end up shit anyway. Duke Nukem Forever, shit. South Park Stick of Truth has been delayed 3 times. It was meant to come out like April this year. It's not coming out until like March next year now. That's ridiculous. And for people that have pre-ordered it from like a year ago, that they gave them their money, and to be fair, they're going to get it in the end. But what state is it going to be in when it finally does release? Because clearly the developers, there's something wrong, so they're having to delay it. It makes you wonder. So, you know, there's all these things, and then there's Titanfall. Now I'm not as knowledgeable on this game as a lot of people are, I'm sure, but Titanfall, from what I can gather, is just a first-person mech shooter, although you can get out your mech, and it's multiplayer only, with single-player elements, whatever the hell that means. So you can only play it online, there's no story, it's just a mindless shooter. It's more mindless than Call of Duty because there is no story. What kind of game doesn't have a story anymore? Who buys a game and says, oh, I'm just going to piss about on it, I don't care about what it's about? The kind of people that only play GTA to piss arse about shooting everyone up and hitting hookers with baseball bats, they'd be fine with that. But for the rest of us that like to play the single player, fuck it. We don't get a story. You can just shoot people online and have hours of fun doing that, even though you'll get bored within the first week of it. This better be a one-off. I don't want to see more games be multiplayer only. I want a single player. I want a campaign. I want to play the game on my own and enjoy it on my own. I don't want to have to go online listen to people bitching because I've got a cheap gun, or people are hacking, or people are whatever. I don't want to hear any of that. I just want to play the game, and I should be allowed to do that. I shouldn't have to go online just to play a game, especially not on consoles still. Years ago, console games didn't even have online. They didn't even have co-op, and now it's going to be multiplayer only. That's a joke. And I'm sure everyone's going to be like, yeah, but Titanfall's designed to be multiplayer only. Why? Why is it designed to be multiplayer only? It's basically going to be exactly like Destiny, but at least you can play Destiny on your own. In fact, Titanfall is just going to be a shit version of Destiny. Except in Destiny, I don't think you can use vehicles, but who really cares about that? It's ridiculous. And now the only good thing about Titanfall is that it's coming out on the 360 and the Xbox One. So if I really want to, I can pick it up on the 360. I'm not getting an Xbox One. Any exclusives that are announced only for the Xbox One, I'm not going to ever play for all of them. Unless I win the lottery and have millions and I can actually afford, I can be bothered to get one. And even then I probably wouldn't bother buying one. This generation is doomed unless they start doing things properly. They need to take examples from the past. Even if they literally end up copying what they did years ago, it will be better than what they're heading for. I don't know what they're heading for. It's going to be ridiculous. All the games are going to be online only. There's going to be no story. You're going to have to buy day one DLC to play the game. The online passes are going to come back mandatory. And it's like, you're not even going to be able to get it with a new copy. You have to like buy the pass as well, or something ridiculous like that. There's going to be microtransactions out of arse. So if you want to play, if you want to continue to the next level, or if you want to change the difficulty, oh, you got to pay for that. It's honestly, I'm fearful for what's going to happen to this generation. There's many games that I'm looking forward to, but I'm scared of what's going to happen to them, and what's going to happen to the console gaming. PC gaming doesn't seem to be changing, so they'll probably be okay. The console games, they seem to be trying to, they're doing a high risk strategy, and it will either pay off or it won't pay off. And if it doesn't pay off, there's no coming back. Anyway, I've had enough of complaining about the next gen consoles or this gen consoles now. I don't want to have to talk about them again. I really hope it gets better next year. Who knows, I might even own a PlayStation 4 next year. I probably will. I don't know when, but I probably will. Thanks for listening, guys, to the rant. I suppose you would call it a rant because I didn't really say anything positive. Say anything positive. I can't even speak. Tune in tomorrow for another video. Don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. Hopefully, it's not going to be another rant, because I'm not up to ranting at the moment. I'm actually pretty happy. You know, I feel clean again, having a shave and a haircut. I feel great at the moment. Christmas is 5 days away. Can't wait to be playing on the Wii U. It's going to be fun. I will see you tomorrow.